shit crack.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? My name is Keisha. I am the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be giving my interpretation of Mercury in Pisces. You are a Aquarius, Pisces, or Aries sun sign. If you have this placement, um, let's see. What is Mercury? Mercury rules our communication, how we make decisions, how we process information, our intelligence, how we learn. Um, it's our speech, like our speaking voice, our intellectual conversations, memory, and comprehension. What is Pisces? Well, first and foremost, Pisces is in its fall for Mercury because it's exalted in Virgo. So the opposite sign, 9 times out of 10, is where that sign is at its fall. And so it acts like Mercury retrograde. And so you could typically experience trouble with travel plans because Mercury rules transportation and all that stuff. Um, Trouble with technology. Your communication can be like you can stutter here or speak really fast or really slow, or with a slur. Um, you can also have trouble with planning contracts and documents, especially if you're actually in a Mercury and Pisces retrograde. These things might show up even more for you, unfortunately. Um, Pisces rules your imagination, otherworldly things, spirituality, ghosts, premonition, esoteric things, your sixth senses. So everything. I think I did a post on this. I talked about this in another video. I don't remember which one, but this is like telekinesis, uh, clairaudient, psychic, and somebody who can channel. There's words for those. Go check out the post on my IG page where it goes in, tells you about the 9 senses. It's 9, not 6. But those other after 6 is where you get super Piscean here. It's also like signs, symbols, and synchronicities, deja vu, which is still like premonitions, if you want my honest opinion. Um, Dreams, dreaming, actually dream. Um, like that show Medium. Does anybody remember that show? Um, where the lady would have like dreams and shit, and she used to help the district attorney, um, like find people and stuff. I feel like this is definitely something to do with that. Um, I also think sign language can come up here more than any other placement just because I view Pisces as um preferably non-talkers. They're on the autism spectrum for me too. here because it's such a powerful placement. Even though it's in detriment, I still think that most people might think these people are dumb. These are some very educated people, but nonverbal, or like the nonverbal spectrum people, autism people that are on the nonverbal spectrum. Um, and so I think of things of like other ways to communicate if it's not the six senses, it's on the more mundane level. This is like uh sign language and people who can be considered on the lower vibration emotionally manipulative because they can pick up on your senses. They're super intuitive that way. But I'm trying to figure out a really dope ass way to explain it because it's not just manipulative, but it can be that way. Um, so bear with me because I have to give you the example to get the words. So I view Pisces 12th house energy as where the baby is born. And so, the babies are very nonverbal inside the belly, you know, but they still know what the hell's going on. Even though they might not remember it when they get out. Some do. Um, some kids do, but they grow out of it after they get out of that imagination phase because of the world we live in. But um even as babies, they can't talk, but these people, they're using their hands or their to speak to get your attention. But they're operating off of knowing intuitively and instinctively tapping into your emotions. That's how they can communicate, right? And so, to a sense, these are how Mercury and people can communicate. It's going to be different for everybody. You always want to look to the planets. And because Pisces is ruled, its traditional ruler is Jupiter. Jupiter rules culture, long distance travel. So this is like astro travel, people who can astro travel, um, religion, spirituality, uh, speaking, learning, teaching. This is when you get to the higher um what you're supposed to do with these gifts. So you might go through a lot in your life because Mercury is again your childhood education when it comes to your speech, understanding things and learning how to process what's in your mind because you have a direct connection to source here. Um, and so you could get a lot of messages and things, but not really understand it at a younger age and go through people really like constantly asking you to repeat yourself because there's a distraction. You're living in between both worlds and trying to comprehend that, right? And so it could be tough for these people growing up. I can imagine that it's not an easy experience, but when you get to the Jupiter part, you grow through perhaps learning, writing, orating, listening to your own voice, whatever speech kind of like things that they help you with that you can do to help yourself learn and understand and comprehend how your mind is connected to source. Okay, so you always want to look at the planet that it's in. So it's Jupiter and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. And so you also can be like connected to or more reflective on the era that you come from and how you communicate, depending on where um where, um, or how, you use this not your mind and things of that nature. You might have a lot of beliefs that are connected to the era that your Neptune is in, um, which could have a lot to do with scamming, um, unfortunately, deceit, lies, kind of the lower expressions of Pisces, unfortunately. Or like when you're talking about psychics, this is where you get the distortion between, oh, that person's a psychic, but are they really? And so there's scammers and schemes around these types of topics. They actually have a documentary out on Miss Cleo now. I really need to find that. I want to see that. I'm interested in hearing her story. But you know, this could also be around things that are lost, stolen, and can't be found, like the Jesus, my brain. My brain is like, nope, I don't want to work. Um, um, what do you call that? The Amber Alert, okay? Or again, people who are connected to sources, you could ask, where is this? And people can find it. These might be people who are specialized in that, who can tell you. There's actually astrology connected to that, by the way. I can't remember the name of it. There is a specific name for it that if you ask them, like, I lost something, how can I find it? That's in the 12th house. It has a lot to do with both Jupiter, Neptune in the 12th house, and wherever those planets are playing a role for you, as well, Avi. Um, yeah, so, and people, unfortunately, you get taken advantage of here with this a lot, especially when it comes to love and romance, or you might like attract um what do they call those people who are like super manipulative or whatever. My brain is like boop 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 boop. In my defense, my planet is just come out of retrograde, so we're picking up speed, guys. Anyways, so I can go on and on and on about those things because I absolutely positively love this energy. I love Pisces energy. I can talk longer than necessary about this stuff, but yeah. So these people are dreamers, they wander off into their imagination. Um, Pisces does rule creativity. They ask a lot of questions because they look at everyone they know as a teacher. They love to learn. They can be super forgetful, going back to that lost energy. They're probably always freaking losing shit. Um, they could be addicted to music. These people can have addictive behaviors, going back to that Neptunian lower vibrational energy where depending on where your Neptune is, you might have an uh an era of, addictions, like a hippie era, and I think the 80s. So you definitely want to check what what area Neptune rules. It's going to tell you a lot about some of, the things that you might be struggling through and or have to go through to heal in order to get to that Jupiterian energy. Um, but these people need music to kind of cope with the everyday worlds because you really don't kind of fit into the everyday worlds. And again, it's hard and difficult, and this is a way that they get through music. I think video games too, and any kind of creative projects. These people are probably really good with their hands, as a way to escape. And if it's not video games, then these are like people who avidly have favorite shows that they watch. Perhaps it's some of those shows I was talking about, like the Amber Alerts. And that's where you kind of get into the like Scorpio energy, and where Scorpio and Pisces kind of share some of those same like detective um movies and things around, women freaking killing people and all those things. Or it could be the ghost stuff, all those freaking ghost shows or documentaries. That's the word I'm looking for. Pisces does rule documentaries. Photographers and directors. These people are great at those themes because that's what they rule, and it helps them cope, or this is how they show love or communicate what's in their mind, because they might not really be able to sit down and have like an everyday conversation with you. And so they're going to do you some art or write you some music or something like that. You know what I mean? That's how they show love and communicate, because their intellect might not be that great. Um, it keeps them grounded. These people are awesome fucking huggers. They can be Reiki healers as well, or numerologists, or dream interpreters, or channelers. Um, they can be in that sad, depressed energy, because that's also very Neptunian on the lower vibration. Um, or they stay in the past and reminisce about the past a lot. Or, it's that kind of victim mentality where they find themselves in a loop. It doesn't even have to be up about the past. I think it's a loop, if you want my honest opinion. But um, somebody who kind of struggles with, oh, I'm always in this situation because nobody cares about me, because this shit always happens to me. Why does this always happen to me? Type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that. Um, yeah, or they're like addictive behavior, or these people are again much like Aquarius and Scorpio, where they're always thinking somebody's out to get them. These people are really, really hard to counsel, by the way. I don't want to say that they can't be helped, but if you're in that energy, like where you think the government's after you, or it's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing at that, because that's actually a real mental health problem. Pisces does rule mental health disorders. Um, you know, they're kind of just trapped to me. Um, these people have a hard time understanding things that are logical, or, of the mundane worlds. Um, but once you get on that higher vibration, and again, you step into that Jupiter energy, your words heal because you're given direct messages from source. Great writers, artists, dancers. Specifically for me, Pisces is like ballerinas, prostitutes, um because it's that Virgo access. These are librarian during the day, pole stripper by night. That's obviously a very generalized explanation, but this could be like a real life fucking thing. So pole dancing, um or like what was that thing Pink did? You guys know the singer Pink, and she was on like those white things, and she was flying up in the sky and shit. I think her and her daughter did a show with that too. It was really fucking dope. But those kind of dancers, not like Virgo. Virgo remembers the B-boys, um, hip hop dancers, and hip hop and DJs and all that there. On the opposite, you get a little bit more twirly. It's a lot more beautiful and captivating. Um, it's very Piscean, you know, um, because Pisces rules the feet, you know. Um, I can go on and on and on about that. But anyways, voiceover announcers, because remember, Mercury is comedy or your speaking voice. And Pisces is the imagination, fantasy, and I think you get a mixture of Disney people who do like voices for characters on Disney, anything fucking Disney, to be quite frank. It doesn't have to just be Disney, but that's like uh what comes to mind because Pisces really kind of rules over those types of things. I think of like Jamie Foxx. No, Eddie Murphy. Hercules, Hercules. I'm pretty sure it's Eddie Murphy that's a Mercury and Pisces. And he does all his own characters' voices and stuff. So like, that's where I'm getting this idea from. Um, yeah. And be careful for gossip. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I forgot anything. Hmm. Yeah. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.